Hey Emmanuel, as enjoyable as the weather is outside on this Thursday, I thought that last night was maybe even more enjoyable. Last night we held our very first Wednesday night Bible study and 45 of you came out to that. I was delighted to see that level of participation. And as you know, we're studying the book of James, and James immediately dives right into trials of various kinds and how God uses those trials to grow us steadfast in the faith. And as we studied that, there were some great questions that were asked, some good discussion, and even some really precious stories that were shared about how God has helped people through times of trial. And so I know that I was deeply blessed by that time. I hope all of you who came out were likewise blessed. And I hope that's an encouragement to those who weren't able to make it out. Come on out on a Wednesday evening and participate in this Bible study. It's such a good time of edification and even connection with one another. Now that study is Wednesday at 6:30. I hope you're able to make it out for that. Now I've got one announcement for you. I mentioned it in passing in a midweek video in the past. We announced it on Sunday. But on Saturday, the 26th of June, we are holding a membership class here at Emmanuel. So if you're interested in becoming a member, or if you just want to learn more about the church, you'll want to attend that class. That's from 9:30 in the morning until 1 p.m. And the last part of that membership class is a lunch together where we'll get to know each other a little bit better. So again, that's June 26th from 9:30 to 1. And there's a sign-up sheet in the connection counter in the hallway here at the church, so you'll want to make sure that you write your name down and then fill out a couple other things if you're interested in participating. Now, I do have some homework for you this week that relate to our study in 1 Peter, our sermon series entitled Hope in a Hostile World. This week we are in chapter 2, verses 4 through 6, and I'm going to read those verses for you right now. As you come to him, a living stone, rejected by men, but in the sight of God, chosen and precious, you yourselves, like living stones, are being built up as a spiritual house, to be a holy priesthood, to offer spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. For it stands in Scripture, behold, I am laying in Zion a stone, a cornerstone, chosen and precious, and whoever believes in him will not be put to shame. So that's the passage for this week. And in here you see some imagery about a living stone or a cornerstone. And you know, this is something that's called a type, an image that runs through the arc of the Bible, and it reflects something greater. So you go all the way back to Moses, and when Moses wants to see God, God hides Moses in a cleft of a rock so that Moses can see him. And then a little bit later, God, through Moses, splits a giant rock in half, and from that rock gushes a river that quenches the thirst of all the Israelites. You get to Daniel, and Daniel sees a vision of this stone, not hewn by human hands, and it crushes the kingdoms of the world, and then that stone grows into a mountain and fills the world. And Jesus talks about building your house upon a rock. And then here we're seeing living stone and cornerstone. So what is this imagery that we're seeing throughout the Bible? And I want to give you a couple passages to look at that I haven't mentioned that also relate to this imagery. So you want to look at our passage for this week. That's 1 Peter 2, verses 4 through 6. Compare it to these. Ephesians chapter 2, verses 18 through 22. Isaiah 51, and Revelation 21. What is going on in these four passages? How do they compare to one another? And how is that stone or rock imagery carried through all four of them? And what is the greater thing, the bigger thing that's being reflected? Or you might say, what is God doing on earth? And so check out those four passages. Again, that's the passage for this week. 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 4 through 6. And then Ephesians chapter 2, verses 18 through 21, Isaiah 51, and Revelation 21. Check them out, compare them, see if you can figure out those common themes, and if you would like, you can drop me an email, fletch@ibcfamily.com, and tell me what you found. All right, well, I'm really looking forward to getting into this text with you on Sunday morning. I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I hope your week is a blessing from the Lord and that every day is as gorgeous as it is today. Wouldn't that be wonderful? All right, well, take care. See you Sunday.